Morgan.
And I'm Jake, and this is
Neverland Navigation Radio,
where we take an unexpected journey down weird IPs that have shown up at Walt Disney World.
Yes.
Ooh, fun.
Super exciting.
Morgan, what is IP?
IP is intellectual property.
Oh.
So that's like when somebody says, oh, they're going to add IP to the ride, they mean like they're going to take a ride and then add like the Little Mermaid to it or something like that. Put in some people say it in a derogatory way, I feel like.
Yes.
Because they're like, oh, they're just trying to sell us something.
Right.
You know? But I like it. I didn't mind when they added IP into the It's a Small World attraction in Disneyland.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they didn't do that to ours. Some people were upset about it. I don't feel like they were trying to sell us something.
Right.
We were already bought in. Don't you think?
Well, it's classic characters.
Yeah.
A little different from is it Tokyo where they have the Groot one?
Yes.
That one's a little I think people would be even more upset about that.
It's so cute though. Have you seen clips?
I've seen pictures.
Well, that one's only temporary anyway.
Oh,
it
right.
ends at the end of June, which bums me out because I cannot make it there that fast. You guys have got to save like thousands and thousands of dollars.
Maybe we'll come back. All right. Well, before we get into our list of unexpected IPs that have shown up throughout Walt Disney World, we wanted to thank you so much for listening. If you're on a listening platform like Apple Podcasts or Spotify and you want to help support the show, you can absolutely do that by leaving us a review, and we would love to read them. And then you can check us out on the visual version of the podcast over on the Neverland Navigation Co. YouTube channel.
Yes. Also, if you are thinking about taking a trip, if you've already saved your thousands and thousands of dollars for Tokyo Disney.
Good for you.
Yeah. Or if you're taking a Walt Disney World, Disneyland, Universal, cruise vacation, anything like that, send me an email at neverlandnavigationco@gmail.com. I am a free-to-you travel agent, and I can get you booked for the same price you'd be able to do yourself with a ton of work, or less. A lot of times I find a better deal than you can find yourself. And you get free trip t-shirts from our 5-star Etsy shop as a thank you for letting me be your travel agent.
Absolutely. It's great service that is not unexpected. It's what you can expect from working with a travel agent.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So we were talking about IP before we were talking about that stuff.
Yes.
And I don't want to confuse anybody and make it seem like it's just the classic stuff though. IP is any like character that somebody owns or whatever.
Right.
Would you say character in Disney, what we're talking about?
I would say we're going to be talking mostly about characters with a few exceptions that we'll get into in here.
Okay.
But I would say this is any media property. So
yes,
TV shows,
that somebody owns.
Right, yeah. Movies, anything that you're consuming in theaters or at home. Is an IP, an intellectual property.
Yes.
And sometimes Disney pulls from their own vast collection of intellectual property, either that they have generated themselves or that they have acquired over the years. And sometimes, in a more rare situation,
once in a blue moon.
Yeah, they get the urge to add something to the theme parks that is not from within the library of their intellectual property. And we get some particularly unexpected crossover type stuff.
So real quick, expected IP would be like Snow White.
Yes. Sleeping Beauty.
Yeah, Lion King.
Too expected. Very expected.
Yes. You're going to see those guys when you enter a Walt Disney World park.
Right.
So today we're going to talk about the ones that when you first see them, you're like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Not what I was expecting.
Exactly. Yes.
All right. So we have a list that we kind of compiled together.
Yeah. You
want to start us off?
Sure. We wanted to brainstorm a bunch of different things. This is what came to mind for me. Morgan and I are both big fans of this attraction, and it contained, I would say, several unexpected.
A multitude, yes.
Yes, many unexpected.
Especially if it
IPs.
were around today, but it's not. But
exactly,
go on.
Yeah. This ride featured, well, the premise was that it was a spectacular journey into the movies, and that you were going to see and be put in the middle of scenes from classic films throughout cinema history. And some of the films that they defined as classics were interesting for Disney, particularly the R-rated Alien.
Yes.
Um,
So this is the Great Movie Ride that we're talking about.
Right.
We like danced all around the name of it.
Yeah, the Great Movie Ride was featured Alien and featured a bunch of non-Disney IPs.
So,
The Wizard of
I
Oz.
would say expected in the Great Movie Ride was Mary Poppins.
Fantasia.
Yeah. Wizard of Oz.
Well, Disney didn't own the Wizard of Oz.
Well, I know, but still, at least it made sense with like their family brand.
Very true.
What did not make sense was what you are about to talk about.
Yeah, well, that was.
Did you say R-rated?
Mm-hmm.
I believe it.
Mm-hmm.
I can't watch these movies, so I don't have my whole experience with these movies is the Great Movie Ride.
Yeah, that's totally fair. They did play the trailer for this in the queue for the Great Movie Ride as well. So,
so I've seen that about 1,000 times.
Right, you know the tagline 100% for sure.
Yeah.
The movie is a little graphic. In the 80s, it was considered to be like a pretty graphic sci-fi movie because there's a lot of like body horror, a lot of gore, stuff like that. So to have it in a theme park, I think is a little unexpected, particularly a family brand theme park like Disney. But it was originally going to be its own standalone attraction. That's what Michael Eisner wanted.
I'll bet he did.
Yeah, he wanted.
Crazy.
That's how Alien Encounter began.
Yeah.
Was that he wanted like an Alien IP attraction. He didn't get his way, but then Alien ended up being licensed for inclusion in the Great Movie Ride. So while you were on your journey through the movies, your ride vehicle gets hijacked, and then you're taken into a particularly scary scene. You're aboard the spaceship Nostromo as it's begin its countdown to self-destruct. You see Sigourney Weaver as Ripley, looking sweaty and terrified.
Yeah.
And then you round the corner, and an alien lunges out at you from the side. They're called Xenomorphs in the movie. They're guys with the long heads and the mouth that sticks out of their mouth. And then you survive that one, and then another one comes out from the ceiling. They're these big articulated figures.
This scene haunted my nightmares as a child.
I know, it was really scary.
Really intense. And so do you think this was supposed to represent sci-fi in the movies for the Great Movie Ride? So even more surprising because they already had kind of a deal with Star Wars.
Right.
So why not have Star Wars?
And they had a deal with George Lucas to use these Lucasfilm properties. The same time this opened, the Great Movie Ride, the Indiana Jones Stunt Spectacular also opened, and Indiana Jones is also featured in the Great Movie Ride.
Right.
So it's weird that even though Star Tours hadn't opened yet, they had this relationship with George Lucas from Captain EO.
Right.
And they were developing Star Tours, so it was weird not to have Star Wars.
Say that it was a horror section because we had already gone through that section of the Great Movie Ride.
That's right.
It is a horror section.
The Night of the Living Dead is represented in the Great Movie Ride.
Yes.
So yeah, just particularly strange.
Yeah.
Definitely, as a kid, I couldn't even understand why
this was happening to you.
Yes. Why I was very traumatized, like Sigourney Weaver. Yeah, that one was particularly weird.
Yeah. Definitely. Very scary for what was otherwise like an upbeat, fun, jaunty trip through the movie.
Totally strange.
All right. Should I continue on?
Yes.
Our next one is the Power Rangers.
Oh.
The Power Rangers had a meet and greet in the streets of America in Disney's MGM park. Disney did own the Power Rangers, and then, but anyway, I remember this really well. They were back. They would do like walking around. I believe there was a dance party. Do you think I'm right about that?
I definitely remember them playing loud music. I don't remember like if there was choreography or whatever.
Yeah.
But they had this like float thing that they were all on.
Oh my gosh. So,
it was like the lightning bolt logo.
Yeah, this was interesting because like I learned today that Disney owns Power Rangers at any point in time.
I had to Google it for this.
Yeah. So it looks like they were owned by Disney for 9 years.
Right. And it makes sense because those are the years I remember them being at the park. The
Yeah.
early 2000s.
Yeah, totally. I was a big Pink Power Ranger fan.
Oh, me too. I waited in quite a long line to meet that Pink Power Ranger.
Yeah, but Amy Jo Johnson.
Oh yeah. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
My family was dismayed that I was asking to wait in this super long line, but my mom waited there with me. So thanks, Mom.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a cool experience. They were all doing their action poses.
Of course.
If you were,
Seems like a really easy meet and greet for Disney to pull off too.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But the Streets of America was back where Disney MGM Studios would put their rando meet and greets.
It's true. So I'm looking at this list.
Yeah, half of them are back.
Yeah, they just took that weird stuff and put it all back by the.
Yeah,
that is kind of
like,
funny.
you made it this far,
right?
Let's throw something random at you.
It's such a funny thing because I think Disney was a little bit like, well, we're not really using this to film very much back here.
Yeah,
and so eventually they opened it to guests completely. Originally, you couldn't even walk on the Streets of America.
Yeah,
because it was part of the production facilities. You could only see it from the tram tour. But after a while, and they weren't securing contracts to film stuff there, they opened it up to people, and I think they just kind of started filling it with this, these weird meet and greets.
Yeah, so that's funny.
Fun and very strange.
Yeah, and then your note says they were sold to Hasbro, which is a toy company.
Right.
So
yeah,
funny.
the Power Rangers turns out have changed hands of ownership several times. And it makes sense that for the brief period of time that Disney owned them, they wanted to get their money's worth out of the IP.
I haven't heard from them in a while, so that's interesting.
The Power Rangers?
Yeah, have you?
Yeah, they've recently had a couple movies.
Oh, okay. See, I don't have a young child anymore, so
yeah, I'm
out of it.
I only knew about them because they played as like previews in other movies.
Oh, okay.
I was watching, so I think 2 came out, 2 like new Power Ranger movies. I don't know if they were
good,
commercially successful. Not
commercially successful.
Yes.
Okay, let's move on to the next one.
Let's move on. There's 108 days. Is that how many days there are? Is it 8 or 4?
No,
there's 108 days.
It's not 8.
Is it not?
No.
This is like a quiz.
Now I'm gonna have to look it up.
Hey, everybody out there. How many days of summer vacation are there in Phineas and Ferb?
I want to say 4. I'm gonna guess 4.
If you know, go to our Instagram and comment it.
And I'm about to tell you. But go on.
Yeah. Don't listen if you don't want to know the answer. I think Morgan's going to tell you anyway.
I am. Honest. Oh, do you not want me to say?
No, I do want you to say.
Okay. Well, go on.
Because I want to
go on with. There's 104 days.
Oh, it is 4. You were right. All right. There are 104 days of summer vacation, and if you are on summer vacation in, I don't even know what years this was there. This first one just recently. All right, I'm going to stop this. Phineas and Ferb is our next one. More specifically, is their recent appearance at Jollywood Nights.
Yes. They were definitely there in 2023, which was Jollywood Nights' opening year, and it was a pretty big shock for a lot of us.
It is, yeah, it's weird, it's surprising. It's Disney Channel, so I guess it's not Disney that Channel, surprising.
And it had been off for a while.
Right. It's like it's kind of like a throwback at this point, Phineas and Ferb, which is crazy because I remember when it was new.
It would make a lot more sense for a throwback if they had already had the costume from the first round when it was popular and they had it but they didn't.
But they were barely in the parks. I don't think they were in the parks at all.
Yeah, maybe they were and we just didn't know. But
the first time I saw them in the parks was when they showed up in the Epcot World Showcase.
Yes.
They were the scavenger hunt.
Yes.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yes, I really liked that. We really enjoyed. I mean, the Mexico Pavilion was really cool because it involved the volcano.
Yes. What happened with the volcano? Do you remember?
Don't remember.
Somebody.
He shoots out of it.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Doofenshmirtz.
There were a bunch of special effects all around the World Showcase that were added. That kind of Perry the Platypus would pop out of stuff.
Yeah.
And all kinds of stuff. It was fun. It was like an interactive activity, mostly geared toward younger children, but
and us.
Enjoyable to us as well.
I love Phineas and Ferb, so them having anything Phineas and Ferb makes me super happy.
Yeah,
I was thrilled that they were at Jollywood Nights.
Me too.
I was thrilled when they had the scavenger hunt. I was a little heartbroken when they took it away. I
I
hope to see
know.
them more in the future. I think I have heard rumors about it coming back.
Really?
The show, yeah. But we won't get into rumors.
Yeah. Oh no, I think I heard that too.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, this is a little weird. Not as weird as some of the others because it is a Disney property.
Yeah, it is
so
a Disney property.
Not that unexpected, but for something that didn't have as much of a presence in its heyday, it's weird that they chose to bring it back in the ways that they did. But I'm not complaining. I like Phineas and Ferb.
Yeah. I was really happy about that. Our next one is some random Rocketeer nods.
Oh, I love this.
Yeah, so still today you can find Rocketeer's helmet and what's that called? Rocket pack?
I don't know.
Something like that. What he has on the back?
Yeah.
You know, at
I'll buy Rocket
the
Pack.
place where you can get frozen Cokes in Hollywood Studios.
Oh, okay.
So
I think you were telling me about this.
Yeah, it's called PB's Polar Pop Line or Pipeline. So if you're walking down where all the shops line the road, going around like towards Echo Lake, around there where you can buy a frozen Coca-Cola, there is the helmet and the thing. There was also
Random.
Rocketeer stuff in Disneyland by Soarin', and I just find this to be so unexpected and honestly a little weird.
Yeah, the Rocketeer is not something that comes up a lot in day to day.
It's not something I think of with Disney.
Nope.
It's not something I really think of at all. So
it is a little nostalgic for me because I do remember watching it.
Yeah.
Back in the day, so I definitely don't. I don't mind that it pops up every now and then by any means, but I'm always like, oh, really? The Rocketeer? What a choice!
Well, yeah. Any kind of historical stuff we like,
of course.
Yeah, but
totally.
But this one's interesting in a. I don't know why you chose to do that.
And why at the frozen Coke place? Like, there's a lot of unanswered. questions.
Some things make sense, like Gertie.
Yeah.
I think Gertie makes sense, even though that was not an original Disney animation.
That would have been a good addition for this list.
Like, let's just talk about it.
Yeah.
Let's talk about her.
Sure.
So she, right?
Yes.
Is the dinosaur that's in the middle of Echo Lake that you can buy an ice cream out of.
Mm-hmm.
At Christmas, they hang an ornament from her mouth and put a Santa hat on her.
Yes.
And
adorable. We love it.
Adorable. This is iconic Disney MGM Studios. This is now iconic Hollywood Studios.
Yeah.
If anything ever happened to her, I would cry. This was you could find different things that say different things, but this is supposed to be the first animated character ever.
Right.
And so they chose to make an ice cream stand out of her.
Right.
Which makes sense. You know what I mean?
Totally.
It is unexpected, maybe.
It is unexpected.
It's not unexpected for me because the Gertie, the dinosaur, where you can buy ice cream, has been around my entire life before certainly I even knew who she was. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But once I learned about it, I think you told me about it the first time, then I was like, oh, wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, I love it.
I love it.
I think it's a great choice.
Yeah.
Having a big dinosaur to serve ice cream out of is very odd. But I think it reminds me a lot of California architecture, which is like those big weirdly shaped buildings, like Gertie.
Right.
So I never really gave it too much thought beyond that. But then when I learned, and I believe there's a plaque by her where you can kind of read about her. But when I learned that she was like the first animated dinosaur and the first like animation to be, shown,
right.
It made me appreciate it even more.
Yes.
The choice to feature her.
Yeah.
And I love that Santa hat they put on.
I
Gertie
know.
That's how I know it's Christmas time.
Yes.
I love it.
All right.
Okay, yeah, great.
You're
the Rocketeer
next.
and Gertie. Mm-hmm. Oh, I love this one. We're talking about, come on, Barbie, let's go party at Epcot.
Yes.
Yeah, this was weird. So in Epcot I want to say the late 80s or the early 90s.
It was, I looked it up earlier. I believe it was 1992 to 1995.
That sounds right.
Which is interesting because 95 is when Toy Story came out.
Oh, yeah.
Which had Barbie.
Right. Oh, yes.
Go on.
Wow, look at Barbie all up and through Disney history. Yeah. So they had this limousine that was originally for Mickey Mouse called the Mousezine. and they would kind of wheel him around in it to do special performances. And then they struck this contract with Barbie to have her do a performance in Epcot in the World Showcase. And they painted the Mousezine pink, and Barbie then used it to kind of cruise into the World Showcase, get out of the limo.
This says 93 to 95.
Oh,
by the way.
nice. So early 90s for sure. And she would do a show in the American Gardens Theater. And previous to her show, the American Gardens Theater was not a covered stage. It was a small outdoor venue. And they did renovations to it just for this show. It was called the Barbie Birthday Party. And they even sold VHSs of it in the gift shops.
Unbelievable, right?
I think they were a penny. I'm not joking. I think they were 1 cent.
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
Crazy times.
Yeah. So this, I mean, Disney's never owned Barbie.
Nope.
So this is interesting why they chose to have a Barbie birthday party, instead of a Mickey birthday party or whatever.
I want a Barbie land, I feel.
Birthday party. Yeah. I would be fine with
totally,
it too.
it's a very theme park ready IP, don't you think?
Didn't you say at one point that this might come back?
I would love for it to come back.
Yeah. Okay.
I think it's so fun.
I must have dreamed that.
I was dreaming it. You were seeing my dreams. I'm just kidding. I never got to experience this. I haven't even seen the VHS. You can watch it on the internet. It is viewable.
Yeah.
But I will say, I think it's a very fun choice. It makes a lot of sense to me. Barbie.
1 cent. There you go.
1 cent. That's crazy.
God, it's not like it was I don't understand why it was only.
It's not like it's the 20s.
Yeah.
The Barbie franchise is like huge. It's the biggest toy franchise in history.
Yeah.
So like
maybe they thought since they're giving you a commercial.
Yeah, literally.
For both Barbie and Epcot, you can basically have it.
Exactly. But Mattel, the VHS.
Yeah.
I agree with that. That's probably why they made it. But the VHS, I think, is so fun. But just the fact that the show exists to me.
Yeah, you guys should look up pictures of the show or watch it.
Or watch it on YouTube.
Wildly cheesy.
Oh, they sold the car. Oh wait, no, this is a photo op.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. They did a photo op at one point that makes it look like you're riding in like Barbie's pink convertible on your way to Epcot.
That's
very
crazy.
Cute. This looks like an event though, maybe like a D23 or something.
Yeah, that's cool.
Oh, very cool. Very fun.
Yeah. So yeah, that was wildly unexpected.
Would you like to see Barbie come back to Epcot?
I would.
Fun.
I would love that.
A meet and greet would honestly be really fun.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. She's just part of American culture.
Yeah.
I like her in the American Pavilion.
The new movie is not, like, Universal, right?
I don't remember who makes it. Maybe Universal.
Well, no, because we would have seen something at Universal. For sure, if they had $1 billion movie, they would have put...
We would have the Barbie experience.
Exactly.
You're right. You're totally right. It must be Warner Brothers. But
that's crazy because I went to the Warner Brothers studio lot last year and didn't see anything about Barbie.
What did you see?
What all films did I see stuff about?
Harry Potter.
Everything DC, Harry Potter. Yeah, and then some new stuff that they have going on now. More TV shows than films, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway. Okay, so
there's Barbie.
Yeah. Oh, are you checking?
Yeah, it's Warner Brothers.
Oh, it is Warner Brothers. Crazy. You would think they maybe just they didn't do any of the filming in California. Maybe that part was closed. I don't know.
Yeah, there's a lot of possible explanations for why they wouldn't display it at Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
A lot, but they're actually going to come up again later, Warner Brothers, on a
wow,
never mind. It's on another episode.
Oh.
Keep listening.
All
right, that's it for Barbie.
All right, so jumping to the next one, I've got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh, let's stay in the 90s.
Yes.
Love it.
This one, to me, is one of the weirdest ones. But let me tell you why. Because this was an animated cartoon. I know it was a lot of things, right? I know it was a movie. It was a movie with live actors. It was also animated cartoon. Yeah. It was probably a comic. I don't know.
It's been lots of things.
It's been lots of things.
Toys.
But at no time was it ever owned by Disney.
Right.
So it's an animated cartoon not owned by Disney, but there they were.
Yeah.
There they were. And I was back there in the back lot of MGM,
Mm-hmm.
hugging them and dancing around.
Aw.
They definitely had a dance party.
Yes, right.
Which
Which I love. I believe the situation with them, correct me if I'm wrong, you definitely remember this better than me, but they would have the dance party and then they would like release the turtles for you to like take pictures with them and stuff. Isn't
that sounds right. That sounds right.
I wish they would do that more. I love that kind of thing.
I definitely have their autograph somewhere.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah, it was super fun.
Little did you know we'd be looking back on that being like, oh, what the heck?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And then one that we're going to talk about next, I also have a same thing. I've got this weird picture. Anyway, so, and with the Power Rangers, all same area, same time frame.
Right. It's like
these are all in the same like 5-year period.
They're rotating cast of whatever.
Yeah.
Very strange.
So anyway, it was a really fun 90s dance party. And then, you could totally go take a picture, get an autograph, whatever. And they were just back there bebopping in the streets of New York.
Favorite Ninja Turtle? Do you have one?
Oh, I'm sure I did. I don't remember. I know Christian's was Michelangelo. He's the fun one, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Fun. All right. Yeah, the Ninja Turtles are particularly nostalgic to me.
Yeah.
So that's fun.
Yeah.
That's a lot of
Very
fun.
weird, though. Very weird. Only because not owned by Disney.
Yeah.
Like, how did that happen?
I think this next one is even weirder.
It's way weirder.
Ace Ventura.
The Pet Detective?
Pet Detective?
Yeah.
Very weird.
So I also have a picture with me and my best friend in like 5th grade next to a cutout of Ace Ventura, Pet Detective.
Really?
Wild. Yes. But do you want to talk about the show?
The show is really the most remarkable bit of it all.
Yeah.
It was not Jim Carrey, obviously. It was someone pretending to be Ace Ventura. And the show began with him atop a building that he would like rappel down to do like this little bit where he's like trying to save an animal, a tarantula.
Yeah. It was definitely a spider.
A spider.
It could be a tarantula. So you've got some acting experience. How well do you think that went? Trying to be Jim Carrey.
I mean, I think it's a tall order.
It's a tall order. Nobody can be Jim Carrey.
Yeah, it's a really like he's got a lot of nuances and stuff that go into that role.
The way he says stuff is wild.
Right.
So it's hard to replicate. And this show was people did not react well.
Yeah, I definitely have seen people posting this and being like, why did they do this?
Yeah.
Which I get. It's very odd.
It's odd, and it was very difficult to do. You would need like a real professional actor, not I mean, I don't know. I don't know how serious the cast member actors are. Do you think it's real serious down here?
I think they can be very serious about it. It's not really
good
that
impersonator.
different. Yeah.
And they'd have to have the same body shape as him too, kind of.
Yes, I'm sure entertainment accounted for all of those things when they were casting.
Yeah, so that's just like you said, tall order.
Tall order. I see that you wrote here in the write-up, same story, no hug.
Nope, I did not hug him.
No hug. Okay.
Yeah, I've got a picture.
Oh, and you said...
I'm not saying people couldn't go up and take a picture with him.
You're saying you didn't.
I didn't. I have a picture with a cardboard cutout of him in MGM. Yeah, no hug for me. But I also, it's funny because I don't find this to be a particularly family-friendly movie.
Nope. Nope, not the first one or the second one.
It's not rated R, but it's a little, I mean...
And it's aged terribly as well.
I watched it again recently, and I was like, okay. Wait, how old was I when I was watching this? I don't know that this was okay.
Yeah, the category is things Disney would not do now.
Yes.
Definitely not.
That would definitely make that episode. We should do that sometime.
Oh, yeah,
things
what a
Disney
good idea.
has done that we would not do today.
I love it.
That
Stay
would be
tuned.
so much fun, yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
All right, alrighty then. I guess I should say.
Maybe you could do it.
No, I'm good. I don't think they're gonna let me rappel down anything. Actually. All right. On to the next one.
Yeah. Are you familiar with this, or is this right before you started coming back?
I don't know anything about this.
All right. You want me to just go into this one?
Yeah.
Okay. So this one's super weird, you guys. In 2016. Doctor Strange was in right now it's like an alley where if you're maybe you can picture Hollywood Studios with me. if you are like walking towards Toy Story Land from, you went down the stairs, you went by, uh, you see on your left where you can get Jack Jack's Num Num cookies, and you can see the Joffreys there, where you can get the Round 'em Up latte, which I highly recommend.
We're near Commercial Street, where the commissary lane is maybe what this is called.
Well, it's behind that though, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So anyway, back there is where Toy Story Mania used to be.
Yeah.
And it's really technically still there, but they just flipped the entrance to the other side. But right now there's nothing back there. But anyway, they had Doctor Strange back there, but they did not advertise for it. There were no show times. They did a quiet casting call for it that people, of course, found and put on the internet, that they were looking for a Doctor Strange character.
Right.
And so the reason for this is because this Doctor Strange is in a little bit of a gray zone. So Disney is not allowed to feature any Marvel characters that Universal is using because they've got the theme park rights. But then they've been able to get away with some stuff, like they got away with Guardians of the Galaxy,
right?
And that's why we have Cosmic Rewind. But they couldn't get away with anything for sure, like Spider-Man or the Hulk, because they've got big rides in Universal.
Right.
Okay. Well, Doctor Strange doesn't have a ride. I think, seen him when we've gone to Universal, like in pictures and stuff. So I think they were like dipping their toe in the water to see if they would get in trouble. And I don't know this for a fact. This is just my guess based on how this worked. But he would just like show up back there. Like it was like what we kind of love about Disney sometimes. So you'll just walk up and see a show happening.
Spontaneous.
Yes. And he'd perform a little magic show.
Ooh.
And then that'd be just randomly for a few months. And then that was it.
Weird.
Gone.
Weird.
Yes. And then this past year, like in 2024, he showed up at Jollywood. But so Jollywood Nights at Hollywood Studios, the extra hours Christmas event.
Right.
In case you didn't know. So I don't know about that. He didn't have a photo-pass person. So again, sneaky. You know what I mean? Nobody knew he was coming. Disney didn't announce he was even there to begin with. He didn't have a photo-pass person. And then part of me is like, was this just some guy in a costume? Was this even a Disney employee, or is this just a person that did it really well?
Yeah, I've never heard of anything like this.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah, like does Disney ever do anything else like this?
No,
this is not their.
It feels very sneaky.
They normally operate very safely.
Yeah,
within their parameters.
Sorry, I was talking so fast. I'm like so baffled by this.
It is very confusing.
That like my brain wants to explode about it. I'm like, I just want to know.
I feel like you definitely have like a board with like pictures of him and like the wire.
Is this really him?
Yeah. Seen at Jollywood Nights. Seen at Pixar Place.
Yeah.
It is very odd.
I mean, Disney owns Marvel, so I want Disney to have Marvel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I want to see Doctor Strange. He did a magic show on Disney Cruise Line.
Oh, cool.
Yes, they did a Doctor Strange magic show on Disney Cruise Line during the like Marvel Day at Sea, and it is like a phenomenal show.
Right.
Something at that at Hollywood Studios would make my day.
Oh yeah.
We would go all the time.
I would love that.
Yes. Because a magic show is fun to begin with.
It is.
Even if you're not like so into Marvel, you know?
Yeah, and I think that would be the kind of thing that I would like to see from their use of the Marvel properties.
Yes, and so different from the other shows that we have.
Yeah, very true.
What I mean?
We don't have like a magic type of anything anymore.
Exactly.
We used to have all kinds of magic stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I really feel like this is a thing that they should do. My guess is they're not sure if they're allowed.
If they were
keep
allowed,
doing this.
they should have like a Doctor Strange visual effects magic show.
Oh, the thing that they did on the cruise line, they used some like projection stuff on a stage, and it was just really mind-blowing.
I love that.
Yeah.
That sounds awesome.
In addition to some practical effect magic.
Cool.
Yeah, super fun.
I love that. There are some really cool ways that projections, when they're used with like practical stages and sets and stuff, that I think are they're like the closest you can get to like magic right now.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, I love it. Okay, so that's my rant about I cannot understand what's happening here.
Really interesting. I wonder what will happen next. You know what I mean? Like, will
Yeah.
he continue to be at Jollywood Nights? I don't know.
Will he just, I mean, was he ever there?
I don't know. Maybe not in this dimension. You know how Marvel is.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
All right. Are you ready to move
Do
on?
they have plausible deniability? Because he did. You know what I mean? I'm just so I am like on like a Criminal Minds like path here with this.
Yeah, I would love to know the answer because it makes you wonder what else from Marvel could pop up.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
if they feel brave, I guess.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry. Go on.
All right. The next one on our list is Launchpad in Animal Kingdom. Now, Morgan, tell the people what you wrote.
You don't want to say this? I said, hey, buddy, you aren't a dinosaur. Why are you here?
Yeah, so he's in Dinoland, USA, and he's part of Donald's
and we don't know why.
Dino Bash.
But I'm happy to see him.
He's
also just there in other parts doing photo ops sometimes.
And that's not part of Donald's Dino Bash?
Right, that's what I'm saying. It was back the time that we got a photo with him, it was in between.
We did?
Yeah. Yes, I have a photo with him. It was in between Dinosaur the Ride and what's the name of the restaurant?
Oh, Restaurantosaurus.
Restaurantosaurus. So not in the carnival part, even.
Yeah.
Technically.
Very weird. I don't know.
And that's what I'm saying.
But dinosaurs, they say that dinosaurs are more closely related to birds than they are to reptiles. Have you heard that? Let's get Jeff Goldblum or a doctor on the phone.
Come on, Jeff Goldblum. We'd love to have you on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is weird.
My husband would die.
I would die. Are you joking? The first thing I would say to him was, "Oh my God, you're in Wicked," which is probably not what he's
probably
used to
not
hearing.
what he's used to hearing.
No, definitely not. All right. So Launchpad is particularly strange. DuckTales in general.
Yeah.
Kind of
I get that.
Weird at Disney.
And he's not as identifiable of a character. I love him, so I have a hard time saying this, but
he's the coolest one.
Yeah, I know, but he's not as identifiable as
Scrooge,
a lot of
McDuck.
Yeah,
I agree.
Donald, you know.
He's a deep cut duck.
Yeah, exactly.
He is. It's weird.
I feel like his outfit does fit the vibe of the area.
Yeah.
He's like all in a leather jacket.
Aviator cap. Yeah. He looks so cool.
Yeah.
He does fit in nicely. I do like him there, but you don't really see much DuckTales at all in the parks.
No, you don't. You don't actually. We were talking about before we started this, and we didn't mention it earlier. That DuckTales is now the scavenger hunt.
Right.
In Epcot.
Other than this, that's the most they've seen.
Yeah.
In the parks.
But to be fair, it's just a show, and I feel like usually it's movies that get a high amount of representation.
It's very true. I can't think other than Phineas and Ferb and Kim Possible, which were just this World Showcase things.
Kim Possible. Oh my God, I completely forgot that Kim Possible had the thing.
Yeah, they were the same thing.
That should also be mentioned then.
Agreed. Because honestly, it's just Disney Channel shows getting World Showcase scavenger hunts.
And it's like the scavenger hunt is such a small thing to begin with. People don't even know about it.
I mean, if you're gonna try to find a place to put Disney Channel promo, I feel like the scavenger hunt makes sense.
Yeah.
Because it's mostly younger kids who might be watching the Disney Channel.
Yeah.
So they would be excited to see Kim Possible and new DuckTales.
Sure.
I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know like what percentage of people even know this scavenger hunt exists. It's only locals, I'm sure.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not like they really advertise it.
No.
That being said, when they were starting these scavenger hunts, they would send push notifications to the My Disney Experience app.
Right.
That said, come on down to World Showcase and look for the ducks or whatever the theme was for that particular moment. So yeah, that's just a weird little thing that they chose to throw in there, but that's Launchpad at Animal Kingdom. Kind of fun.
So another one in the same area, and I didn't know if you would agree with this as being unexpected.
I do.
So the dinosaur ride was a ride before they added IP.
Right.
But there's IP in there today, assuming you're listening to it while it's still open.
Yep. For the rest of this year.
Yeah. So, and I bet most people don't even know that there's IP in it today.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Probably not.
I haven't seen this movie. Have you seen the movie?
Nope.
Okay, so
Which
there's
is
a movie
wild
called
because
Dinosaur.
we're big fans of this
Huge.
ride. So it's really, we should just watch it. But everyone says it's bad.
Well, then, yeah.
So that's why we haven't watched it.
I watched the Pixar dinosaur movie that came out a little more
The
recently.
Good Dinosaur?
Yes, and
That's a
did
tough
not
watch.
like it.
Me neither.
I have pretty much never recommended people not watch a Disney movie, but I did on that one.
Yeah, there were a few moments.
I don't want to lose any fans.
No, I think most people agreed that movie was a spectacular flop. There were moments of it that I liked, like thematically, writing wise and stuff. But as far as like the experience of watching the movie from beginning to end, it was it was a
rough.
chore of a movie to get through, which is really out of the normal for Pixar.
Yeah, and I watched it in theaters, and
really,
yes, and usually I have a better experience in a theater.
Yeah,
you know
too.
what I mean? At home, if I'm
popcorn,
the popcorn is half the battle for me, right? I love movie theater popcorn, so like I'm already happy. You've already got me in a happy place when I'm starting a movie there. If I'm at home and I'm watching something and I don't love it, I'm thinking, okay, I need to do laundry, I need to do this, I need to do that, and like, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But in a movie theater, I'm there, I've got my popcorn, I'm happy. So for me to be sitting and watching this movie and thinking, this isn't good, that's bad. But
the Pavlov effect of giving me popcorn to put me in a good mood doesn't even make up for how bad the movie is. Oh, that's tough.
Yeah, but so the Dinosaur movie, which was a Disney movie, but it was computer animated.
Yeah.
I don't even know when it came out. Must have been the early 2000s.
The early 2000s, yeah.
Yeah, so they inserted this IP into the ride. You barely see it, like in the pre-show and then on the screen, when you're leaving.
Right. Pretty minimal in terms, and they also changed
we've saved that iguanodon so many times you'd think we'd be invested.
Yeah, if anyone cares about him, it's us. They also changed the statue in the front of the ride. It used to be a different dinosaur, and they changed it to the iguanodon from the Dinosaur movie. It didn't work, marketing.
Still nobody's seen it.
It's true. The marketing ploy of this didn't
I'm sorry.
work.
If somebody out there loves this movie, please send us a message and we'll watch it.
Everything's got its fans.
Yeah.
Somebody loves Dinosaur.
Yeah.
Somebody out there. Okay. It's just not me.
Well, we don't know. We haven't seen it.
I don't think I'm gonna like it.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a weird one.
Yeah.
But it's weird that they changed everything, not everything. They changed the title of this ride.
Less than a year after it opened.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so when it opened, it was what is it?
Countdown to Extinction.
Thank you. The words were just not coming to my tongue. Yeah, and less than a year later, they're like, "Oh no, hold on."
Yeah, that is right. That's
we need
weird.
To shove in some IP here.
I know. At least they could have committed from the beginning.
Yeah,
they knew they were developing the movie. Yeah, all right. Dinosaur.
Sometimes I feel like the different entities do not talk.
Yeah, sometimes I think that's true.
Yeah. Anyway, all right. Was that mine? I can do the whatever.
Yes, that was yours.
Okay.
Honestly, I did not see that this was added to the list.
Do you not agree?
I kind of. No, I do agree. Okay. I fully agree.
I wrote something kind of mean.
It's Tron, and Morgan wrote irrelevant at the time of building in my... Oh, the ride.
Yeah.
Okay, Tron, yeah.
I'm saying
in America.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
I'm saying when they decided to put a Tron ride in Tomorrowland, there wasn't a new movie coming.
No,
there wasn't a movie that had recently come out.
No, not since Tron Legacy, and that was in the teens.
Yeah,
the 10s.
Yeah. So I don't get it. I just don't get it. Yeah. That's where I'm at with this. I like the ride just fine. I don't love it. It's no Guardians, but like.
Would you have rather had an IP-less Tomorrowland themed roller coaster? Not that that's an option.
Say that again.
No IP. Just a Tomorrowland roller coaster, no IP.
No IP. So, but like a theme, like
an original
could
concept.
Be space, but yeah.
Yeah.
But I also could have handled a theme like WALL-E, like something that made sense that had IP. You know what I mean?
Conveyor belt coaster. I like it.
They fly around in space. But sure.
Yeah, like your garbage.
Like your garbage. Why didn't I think of that?
Your space trash. Okay, a lot of people love Tron.
I like Tron. I just
The aesthetic of Tron is very popular.
Okay, I get it. I love Minnie's outfit.
Oh yeah. No,
Yeah.
that is really good. I like
Yeah.
Minnie's outfit a lot too.
Minnie has a Tron inspired outfit that she wore for at least the grand opening. That's
Yeah.
where I saw pictures. And I'm like, oh, that's cute.
Really cool.
Yeah.
I also will say, I think that Tron really suits a theme park attraction.
Okay.
Like, I think it makes a lot of sense that you want to ride on the thing and you want to zoom with your bolt of light behind you. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
the aesthetic translates to a theme park attraction very easily in my
It
mind.
makes sense as a ride. I think especially if the movies were a lot more popular in Asia, they put this ride in Asia years ago. I'm
Mhm.
guessing after the one more recently that came out.
Yes, I think so.
Yeah, that all makes sense to me. But I hadn't really heard anybody talking about this. I didn't associate this movie with Disney.
Yeah,
I
agree.
I just don't get it. I think it could have been something that was Disney. I just don't. Are they promoting Tron? Now they're coming out with a new one, right?
Now they are coming out with a new one.
So I guess maybe that's it.
I guess maybe that might have an impact. I honestly think they were looking to add thrill to Tomorrowland. They had this very popular attraction in Shanghai, and a lot of hardcore Disney fans who knew about the Shanghai ride were very excited about it. It looks very cool,
Okay.
in concept. So I think it built a lot of hype when they announced that they were opening it in Magic Kingdom. We were very excited for it when
Yeah.
it was on its way to opening.
Yeah. I'm excited for anything new.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
We were also excited for the Country Bears. So
yeah,
Probably
right.
more
And
excited.
this is true of the next one we're going to talk about. Is this me?
Yeah.
Okay. So the next one we're going to talk about, I don't want to upset anybody. I'm totally happy with this land as it is now.
I'll do it.
Oh.
I'm just kidding.
Go ahead.
No.
Oh, you'll upset people?
Yeah. Sorry.
But when this was announced, I think me, maybe you, most of the world was like, "What?"
Yeah. I could not believe it.
Yeah, and this is Avatar.
Yeah.
I do love Flight of Passage. I do love the bioluminescence of this land. I love the
Mhm.
detail put into it, although you don't get to see that bioluminescence very much.
Because the park
because
closes
the
at 5 o'clock.
closes at 5.
Mhm.
But
Not Disney.
yeah, it wasn't Disney. Is it Disney now? I don't even. Is it?
Yes.
Okay.
Because of 20th Century Fox, I believe.
Yeah. But so yeah, it wasn't Disney. So I know they've done that before and it's worked out in their favor. I get it. Star Wars, I get it.
Yeah.
But I didn't get it.
Never
at the
for a
time.
whole land though.
Yeah, that's true.
The first non-Disney IP land
Right.
is Avatar.
Right.
Very strange. I think it's the same thing as Tron, where the aesthetic of the property translates very well into theme park world. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can already picture it when somebody says Avatar theme park land.
Well, at the time I couldn't because I didn't really know much about the movies.
Okay, got it. Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people did see Avatar.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
the highest grossing movie ever.
Right, for a while.
For
yeah.
a while. So yeah, it was very popular when it was released. It wasn't my thing, but I was definitely aware of it and its aesthetic.
Yeah,
so,
same. I was aware of it.
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I was surprised though.
Yeah. Yeah, this was
Especially
surprising. This
Animal
was surprising.
Kingdom, like a park about conservation. It turned out they wove that into the story quite a bit. It just wasn't Earth that they were conserving.
Right.
It was Pandora, which is maybe a stretch.
Yes.
If you really think about it. But
Yeah.
yeah, this definitely deserves to be on this list because Avatar and Disney in my brain are just on different planets.
Yeah.
Well, no pun intended, but yeah, very, very weird.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't think even if you love Avatar, you can tell me that you weren't surprised when you heard that this was going to be a land.
I know. It feels like
if we were taking bets, nobody would have guessed Avatar.
it feels like this would be something that might open in like Epic Universe.
Yeah.
It feels more like that.
It does feel like that. That is exactly what it feels like. Good call.
Very surprising. They're doing another one in Disneyland.
I know. They're
Not-
like doubling down.
And not Pandora, like an all new one.
Yeah.
Which means they're spending the same research and development budget that they did on our Avatar land on a brand new Avatar land. That's a lot of investment for Avatar.
Yeah.
They've got way more movies coming though, so it's definitely like a promotional, you know,
Right.
type of situation.
Well, yeah, they just better, I guess, hope that longevity wise this all works out.
I know, but I've never rewatched an Avatar movie.
I don't. Yeah.
I know. There are people who love Avatar.
There must be a ton of people that love Avatar.
But even more than that, I think there are a lot of people that want to ride a really cool ride. You
Oh
know?
yeah, that, and it is. They did a really good job with really both rides. I mean,
The animatronic
is
and
awesome.
Flight of Passage
Yeah.
are awesome.
The animatronic.
The rest,
You don't like where the 6-foot frog thing jumps above you? I
No.
like that part.
and I do like that actually. I think it is like I think the atmosphere of that ride is beautiful. I kept telling my husband when we rode that for the first time that there was a huge drop in the middle of it to get him to ride it, and there was no drop. He was very upset at me.
He's like, you took me on It's a Small World, but in another planet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but that Navi animatronic is so impressively
So impressive.
fluid, and
Yeah.
that song gets stuck in my head.
Especially at that time. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah.
That was awesome. Avatar, it did translate well.
Yeah.
I see why.
Hmm.
All right, you want to take this next one?
Yeah, sure. So this I just put because I still think it's so funny that this shows up in the theme parks, although not as much as it used to. And that's just
Aw.
Jessica Rabbit.
Yeah.
She's a bombshell,
Yeah.
the sexy animated character. And she's in a ride in Disneyland and then had a
Yes.
giant billboard at Pleasure Island.
Yeah.
Billboard?
Yeah.
You know what I mean. Sign.
Yeah, sign. Yeah. I guess
Lingerie shop.
Aw, yeah. It was a lingerie shop.
I found this shocking. Not shocked, but yeah, surprised, unexpected.
Yeah, definitely weird. In that same Michael Eisner era of Alien being added to the Disney parks.
Was this all at the same time?
Roughly.
This was like a grown-up Disney.
Yeah, it was all in his tenure, and that's what he was trying to do, was to appeal to more than
Adults.
just,
Yeah.
you know, the families with small children dynamic. And he did a good job, because I think a lot of the things we have now, we would not have if it weren't for
Yeah.
them taking those steps in the 80s and 90s to incorporate a wider variety of IP that was more thrilling to a large group of people. But things like Jessica Rabbit being in the parks a lot is kind of like a weird leftover of that time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because now, would you have a character like this in a Disney ride?
Well,
I don't know.
they put a trench coat on her in the ride in Disneyland to
They
like
told
cover
her,
up.
put your butt away. Just kidding. They told her
Yeah.
basically to cover up a
Cover
little
up.
young lady.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
what
were
do
like,
you
is this setting a good example? I don't know.
what do
maybe
you
not.
think? Should they have covered? No, we don't need to get into it right now.
Oh yeah, it's
Hot
yeah.
button issue right
hot
there.
button issue.
Here's my take on it. Not that, but just her in the parks in general. It's a weird leftover from another time when they were blurring the lines a little bit of what is appropriate for Disney in general.
Yeah.
But the more Roger Rabbit in the world, kind of the better. Because,
yeah.
you know, how fun
Yeah.
to have tributes to such a groundbreaking movie at the time that was like what Disney needed to revitalize their reputation in the movie industry. It did a lot of good for them. It made them a ton of money. At the time, it was really good for their relationship with Steven Spielberg.
I really liked Jessica Rabbit as like the figurehead of Pleasure Island.
Yeah, that
I think
totally
that made a lot
sense.
of sense because that was you couldn't even get over there unless you were, I was 18 or 21.
Yeah.
And that made a lot of sense to me.
Yeah. She was in the sexy part of downtown Disney.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who better to lead
yeah.
the imagery there?
Right. I'll just go ahead and say what I think. When I have gone on the Roger Rabbit's cartoon spin in Disneyland,
Yeah.
I never like looked at her and thought, oh, she needs to cover up.
Yeah.
But then when they did it, I was like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. I get it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, but her being, like I said, the figurehead of Pleasure Island made all the sense.
Totally.
All of it. So, like, if they ever brought back something like that, which it sounds like we could be going in a direction where they're bringing back more adult stuff to Disney Springs.
Ooh.
Have you heard stuff like this?
No.
I have heard stuff like this.
About what?
Oh, I don't want to get into rumors totally, but I heard that there was, okay. All right, this could be wrong, so nobody hold this to me, but like the things that are shutting down in Boardwalk, I have heard might move to Disney Springs.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah.
So that's a dueling piano bar and a dance club.
Mm-hmm.
So then it's almost like you're bringing back pieces of Pleasure Island, in my opinion.
A little bit, yeah. If that's what they
think that it
choose
needs
to
to
do.
be like an island where you can't even be in this area unless you're 21 necessarily.
Yeah, I don't think things are like that anymore.
Well, they were having a real. If you want to go back and listen to the History of Pleasure Island episode, we get into at the end why that didn't work.
Yeah, it was
why
like a traffic problem.
Yes, but having a few clubs, I think, makes sense.
I do too.
Yeah.
They have one. It's just at the Boardwalk. You know,
right.
It's not at...
And the area, like House of Blues, is not for children.
Nope.
You know what I mean? So there
Yeah.
are already things down there. I think that could work.
I do too.
Yeah.
I would be happy to see that go, even in the place of something like Splitsville. I know that makes them a lot of money, but...
Well, yeah. And having a Jessica Rabbit themed club might be freaking amazing.
Oh, that would be so cool. Oh, I love that. All right, shall we move on to the last entry on the list?
Yeah, we have one more. Super weird one.
Super weird one. Do you guys remember the movie Dick Tracy?
Vaguely.
Yeah, Madonna was in it.
Do you remember it?
I've seen it. Yeah.
I've seen pieces of it when I was little, you know.
Yeah, it's not something that...
As you should.
Yeah, you gotta teach them young about mobsters and murder.
Uh-huh.
This is a weird movie. They were banking on this being a huge film for them.
And this was also a comic book series.
Yes. Yeah. Unfortunately, it did not work out the way that they wanted, and I feel like this movie, more than even any other perhaps on this list, has not maintained any cultural relevance.
No. And for a lot of the other one, I know that he was there, but I don't have any memory of seeing him. But now when I was looking for it, I saw that there were pictures of like him, and he's in like his yellow mobster outfit, and it has like a machine gun. Yeah, this wouldn't work today.
Oh, no, definitely not. There was a show at MGM Studios for a while.
Yeah.
A Dick Tracy on Stage show. And then they did plan on building this massive dark ride that was going to be like a...
Can you believe that? I am shocked.
Yeah, well, they do this when they think they're sure they have a hit, you know? And it's funny to think about them doing this for Dick Tracy, but then them having no plans for Frozen, when Frozen ended up being a massive hit.
Maybe it was a different time. Maybe they weren't doing that for... Maybe they were taking their time for everything. Because I feel like that does happen now, right? Like, Moana was huge, but we didn't get any Moana stuff in the parks for... what, 5-10 years?
Years, yeah.
Yeah, and they did that with Frozen.
Yeah.
I feel like they want to make sure it's not... I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. They're just like, oh, we think this is going to be good. Let's make a ride.
Yeah, which I kind of... I appreciate that kind of enthusiasm. And the ride looks like... From the concept art that I've seen, the ride looked like it was going to be very cool. But I definitely don't think Dick Tracy...
Were they pretty far into the making of the ride, or was it just like, you know how Star Tours was originally supposed to be for a movie that wound up being a flop?
Oh, I think you were telling me that.
Yeah.
You covered the history of Star Tours.
Yeah. Oof, I can't remember what movie it was because it was a flop and I probably didn't even see it.
But that's what they were going to use the technology for, right?
Yes, exactly. And then they didn't because obviously it didn't do well, so they switched it. But no, I don't still have it. Anyway.
That's all right. Yeah, I definitely do remember you saying that. Can you imagine if this were opened and how quickly it probably would have potentially closed because nobody cares about Dick Tracy? But maybe this would have been a situation where the ride would have made Disney fans like Dick Tracy more.
I think so. I think it's possible.
Maybe, yeah.
But I don't remember the movie well enough to know if it was fine or good or terrible.
Yeah, well,
So-
I'll tell you what the people thought.
Okay.
They didn't like it.
Okay. Was there just one movie?
There was just one movie. It didn't do particularly well at the box office, and at the time in the 90s, there was a huge emphasis on like VHS sales and home media releases,
Right.
and Dick Tracy did not do well at any of that.
Okay.
So in all kind of fronts, Dick Tracy was definitely a failure that lost Disney a lot of money.
Okay.
So
wow.
at that point, they were like, okay, we're definitely not going to build like a huge dark ride
Yeah.
on this, which definitely makes sense. A part of me wishes I could like experience it a little bit,
Sure.
but at the same time, you kind of get that if it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be. There have been a bunch of canceled attractions like this where they make it. I don't think this made it particularly far, to be honest, that I remember.
Mm-hmm.
Just concept sketches and stuff. But there's been greater losses at MGM Studios. There was like a Muppet movie ride that could have happened.
Oh.
There's all kinds of things that they've pulled the plug on. So
Yeah.
no big deal for Dick Tracy, because I don't think people care about it now at all.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But definitely a weird one for this list, because it's one that I think maybe not everyone is even familiar. Like, could they point at the Dick Tracy poster? Could they,
Yeah.
you know, does anyone even have y'all heard the name Dick Tracy before
I know.
out there?
I
You
know.
like it's really niche, I feel.
Yeah.
So
I
they
mean,
they dodged a bullet, I
yeah.
think.
Yeah.
Anything,
Because Madonna was in it, probably anybody of that the age
right?
where they were, I don't know, and at least an adult when that movie came out, we probably would at least know what it was.
Right.
And then a lot of children too, probably, just because, I mean, the fact that Madonna was in it.
Oh yeah, and it was really like it was advertised like
Yeah.
like a
Heavily,
blockbuster
it was
movie.
splashy. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Well, this was fun.
This was fun.
This topic was brought to us by our friend Andre, who's been on one of our podcasts before as a guest. A guest.
I guess guess.
I guess guess. I was trying to think of what word to use, but anyway.
Yeah, thank you for the
Yeah.
idea, Andre. This was very like
Super fun.
First of all, great topic idea.
Yeah.
And then second of all, it led us down all kinds of things that I had kind of forgotten about, or
Yeah.
some really fun topics of conversation here. If you guys would like to hear more from Neverland Navigation, you can find us on social media at Neverland Navco on Instagram and TikTok.
Yes. We also have an Etsy shop called Neverland Navigation. We do custom t-shirts, hoodies, and dish towels. You just send us a message and tell us what you love. If you love the Rocketeer or Launchpad or whatever, just tell us, and then we'll send you some design ideas and make you a shirt or a dish towel or a sweatshirt. This is also where your shirts come from if you let me be your travel agent and you send me an email at neverlandnavigationco@gmail.com, and I can get you the vacation that you're wanting at the price you're looking at or better, plus free t-shirts.
Absolutely. All right, guys, we are off to wait in line to not hug Ace Ventura. So we will see you on our next adventure.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.